All right, South Alabama and James Madison, a very good under-the-radar group of 5 game on Saturday. James Madison, 3-point home favorites, 51.5 the total in this game. I agree with the initial move to South Alabama. I think it's the better defense, catching points. And James Madison, think about the fucking hectic schedule they've had. Man, it has been, they've gone through the meat grinder. They've been through the ringer, James Madison here. The last few games, if you look at their schedule. They had the emotional game against Virginia, which they pulled out 36-35. They played a tough, hard-fought win against a very good Troy team. They go on the road for a 3rd straight week, and there's not many times in a schedule you'll see a team play 3 in a row on the road, but they went at Utah State. They had this huge early lead, and they almost blow it. Well, they actually did blow the lead. Utah State came all the way back from down 38-14, scored 24 unanswered points to tie the game. It was a crazy second half. And then James Madison rescued themselves with the go-ahead touchdown late in the 4th quarter to get a 45-38 win against Utah State. They haven't been great defensively, James Madison, game to game. South Alabama, maybe they're not as good defensively. What is the reason for losing 34-30 to Central Michigan at home, as 16.5-point favorites? That was not expected, to be sure, the way they played on the defensive side of the football in that game. But you also dig a little bit deeper into it. They left some points on the board. Certainly defensively, they struggled. You got to wonder, too, if that was a bit of a – they beat Oklahoma State so easily, a Big 12 team, 33-7 the week before. That to me looked more like, wow, it's not South Alabama suddenly bad on defense. That's a we took them lightly type of deal. That's what it looked like to me watching that game. They were missing tackles left and right, and South Alabama doesn't normally do that. I think they're a better team than that. I don't think I'm throwing them in the garbage can just because it's a bad loss. It is, obviously. You're 16.5-point favorite against what's supposed to be a not a bottom of the barrel, but a below average MAC team, Central Michigan. It's not a good loss at all. But I think they're better than that. And I'll give them a chance to show me that was an anomaly. I agree with the move to South Alabama, down to +3.5 in this one. What do you think, Conor?
Both teams, defensively have struggled. I thought that was too many points. Now to lose to Central Michigan, that was big, because I thought that was after the big win, we see the trouble Oklahoma State's having. Beat them. They look like they're a little bit back, and they come home and lose to Central Michigan, 34-30. But I think these teams are close. I know James Madison at home here, man, they gave up a ton of points. And, most of it in that second half to Utah State, over 500 yards. It's like they played to Troy to that under. Do we get more with these defenses not being good here? I'm sure tackling drills will be a big deal here in practice this week with these two, because is there more fireworks and it gets over? I'm not so sure, but I'm off here. I'd like to take South Alabama. I've just, that defense, which I thought would be a lot better, hasn't been there. Carter Bradley's been, he's been all right so far this year. I'd have to lean the points if I were to take something here on the side.